Welcome to the DCF everyone, Hazard Reborn here for another episode on Let's Play for Free Reviews. And this time around, we're taking a look at the already quite popular free-to-play title Hearthstone. Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft is by who else but Blizzard Entertainment. It is, as some like to call it, a card game for people that don't like card games, if that makes any sense. Well, if it doesn't, I'll explain it so it does. Mostly what they mean by that is that Blizzard set out to make a card game to be enjoyed by people that don't like all those complex and crazy strategy card games, the likes of Magic the Gathering or what have you. To further elaborate on that, they took an already existing genre, dumbed it down as much as possible so they could make it accessible to the masses, slapped their lore onto it, and Hearthstone was born. Now, before anyone gets out of their minds and ultimately touch over what I just said, allow me to elaborate on this a little bit. Yes, they dumbed it down. They dumbed it down to the point that it will be available even on smartphones and tablets for casual play by many people, just like an advanced Facebook game. I also really don't get how people didn't see that coming with the whole smartphone adaptation. Anyway, point being, is that a bad thing? Hell no. I am among those people that liked or wanted to get into some of those more complex card games at some point, though found mostly frustration in the process of playing those, and a learning curve which I didn't agree to and found to be unneeded. Hearthstone came along and changed all that, and well done to Blizzard. I am not against that learning curve and respect the fact that for some people it is in fact the very thing that intrigued them on those titles, like Magic the Gathering, especially when their first form was in fact cards for an actual physical card game. I'm just saying that for me, I have to be in a really specific mood to enjoy such a title on the PC, when I have so many other choices out there for games, and I will most likely look at a card game in a more casual manner on the PC. And thus, in comes Hearthstone. As Blizzard says, even on their own site for Hearthstone, it is deceptively simple, insanely fun. And they didn't quite miss the mark with that statement. It is indeed deceptively simple. You can pick it up and have fun on the go, and in the long run at the same time, find that it has quite enough depth to form decks with expert combos and strategies that make it quite fleshed out. I would even go to say that it has much more depth than one would expect for a casual game of such type. The main idea and goal is simple, just like some of the basic fundamentals to other card games out there. You select a hero, create a deck, in this case containing 30 cards, then you are pitched against other players out there and their choice of a hero and a deck of 30 cards. Your purpose is to eliminate your opponent by bringing their hero health to zero. It includes a fair amount of game modes to make it fun, and more than I would usually expect. I like the touch of the solo adventures like Naxxramas or Naxxramas, not sure how it's pronounced, and Blackrock Mountain, although you do need quite a lot of grind to complete all those, as they cost 700 gold each quest wing and 5 wings per quest line, adding up to 10 purchasable wings. That comes to a total of 7,000 in-game gold coins all up. A lot of grinding. Something to be widely expected though in a free-to-play title, especially by Blizzard. Then there is solo practice, just to hone your skills against AI bots, and the two most commonly played modes, which are the ones that actually count and are all PvP based. Normal, which includes casual and ranked play, and the arena. The gameplay is at times frustrating, annoying, and so ridiculously laughable, and that being due to the simple fact that the game is all based on RNG, thus randomness. At the same time, for the same reasons of randomness, it can feel rewarding and quite fun. Overall, I will rate the gameplay as addictive. Something I truly didn't expect in this title, but here I am myself, and despite my long-term relationship of hate with RNG, and I mean hate, I still love to throw Hearthstone in from time to time and play it. Before I know it, a couple hours have gone by and I am still playing. That not being enough, I go offline and I find myself thinking about the next time I will put it back on. These are signs of an addictive game, and clearly Blizzard is doing something right. Expert play, of course, focuses on minimizing the effects of RNG and building decks with cards that can be used in all conditions despite their draw turn, something only a long-time veteran will be really capable of doing, thus trying in the process to eliminate as much as possible the chances of having a hand of cards that you simply cannot use. But even then, scumbag RNG is simply that, scumbag RNG. Keep that in mind when entering this game, as it is largely a big part of the game, and knowing this will make a player stay in Hearthstone all the merrier once they come to terms that they simply will not be handed a good draw sequence of cards in many, many games. This is hardly a fault of Blizzard or the game itself, and although I can think of at least two basic mechanics to fix this, these are also mechanics that could change the entirety of the game to something else. As a result, it is what it is, and I don't think it needs much changing for what it is. Even though I do feel sometimes that, that RNG feels fixed. But anyway, the long-term goal of the game is, from there on, to collect cards and build better decks and simply have fun or reach higher in the ranks. Collecting cards is done in three ways. The one is by crafting cards using arcane dust. How this works is that you can sell unwanted cards and collect arcane dust, and then use that dust to create, ultimately buy, the cards you need. It's another lengthy process of grind, since arcane dust at times is not that easy to collect either. The other two ways is by buying card packs. Each one includes 5 random cards and at least one rare, at the cost of 100 gold each, or winning card packs from the arena. The better you play in the arena, the better the prizes. Being able to win back gold coins, perhaps even 2 card packs, and even arcane dust for playing in an arena that would only cost you 150 gold. You can also collect a set standard range of cards for completing the solo adventures of Naxxramas, and Blackrock Mountain, which is also a good thing. The game needs some fixing in some small areas, of course, and there are also many videos and threads in the community itself with ideas on what should be fixed. One letdown, for example, is the fact that ranked play rewards are absolutely pointless, really, and just a tiring grind that gives you a card back at the end of the month, which, by the way, surprise surprise, is mostly something for your opponent's eyes, and rather a pointless reward with regards to both cosmetics and game progression. There are new modes to be announced coming soon, and new content as well, like hero portraits. Some of this content which I agree with, and some not. And it is a game regardless that seems to keep evolving, even though it is going at a ridiculously slow pace, like every Blizzard game ever created pretty much. I would also like to mention, since I touched on the subject a little, the Hearthstone community is a very active community, and although you can find some really annoying douchebags in there, perhaps more than one wants to admit, there are a lot of players, and we might say Hearthstone celebrities, that are very helpful to the community with their gameplay videos and guides and whatnot, which is really a great thing when looking at the social and community side of the game. And now at this point I would like to head over into the ugly side of Hearthstone. I'm not known for my love for Blizzard, but as one can see, I am being as unbiased as possible in this, and on the contrary, when they do something right, like even Heroes of the Storm, I am the first to say it. Having gone over the better aspects of the game, which altogether really do bring about a great and addictive casual card game, one should definitely take notice of, it is time to head over to the not so bright side of the game as well. And that boils down to the following. Hearthstone is a pay-to-win title, and also slightly on the pay-to-play side of things too. For those of you that don't know me, or it is your first time on this channel, this series of reviews is based on free-to-play games alone, and well, surprise surprise, pay-to-win and pay-to-play titles get a bad rating out of the gate from me. However, there are different levels for pay-to-win, and there are games that are abysmal and pay-to-win, at which point it is my job to differentiate between all these titles and explain the reasons why on each review. I know many disagree to the claims of Hearthstone being a pay-to-win title, but that is the raw truth of the matter, and no biased excuses from Blizzard fans can change this. When you have content that would usually take 1.5 months in the best case scenario for someone to unlock, like the completing the solo adventures, and you give the option of having that content purchasable for someone that can buy it in one afternoon for €50, then your game is pretty much a pay-to-win title no matter what anybody says and what kind of excuses they try to come up with. Add to this the fact that you can actually purchase card packs and accumulate cards in that way and collect arcane dust, then the title falls into pay-to-win territory even more. As for the notion that Hearthstone is not a free-to-play title and therefore it cannot be considered pay-to-win, or that it's a card trading game and stuff like that, yes, I've heard all those excuses before. Guys, they're just excuses. Numbers don't lie. When you have content, a lot of which that content is important and a part of the game, it is important for winning matches in the game. And you can have that content accessible to you for a price, then the title has a pay-to-win mechanic in it, no matter how one sees it. And when you have a title that can be played, is advertised as a free-to-play title, and all content within that title can be unlocked without ever spending a single dime if you have the patience for it, then the title is a free-to-play title. So all those kind of excuses, the likes of it's not really a free-to-play title and I don't know what else, they just don't cut it. They're excuses, and the truth of the matter is that it's a free-to-play title and it has pay-to-win mechanics. As I said before, there are different levels of pay-to-win. I can't say Hearthstone is on the deepest end of pay-to-win, and that being because you can grind and get anything in the game without paying for it. Meanwhile, there are titles out there that have content that can only be purchased with real money. Blizzard at least has the decency to stay away from such a practice. So moving on from there, if it wasn't a pay-to-win title, it's not perfect. It does have flaws, and it is pretty casual. It does have a lot of depth. There's a lot of good in it, but it's not the best game out there. So it is a game that I would recommend for someone. In that case, if it wasn't a pay-to-win title at all, it is a game that I would recommend in many situations and scenarios. It's pretty good, and I probably would have given it a 7 out of 10. I don't think I would have given it an 8 out of 10 because that's just pushing it a little bit too high. But I think I'm going to have to give it a different score for the plain fact of the matter that it is a pay-to-win title, and I will have to bump it down a little bit. I give Hearthstone a 5 out of 10. It is a great casual card game and very addictive and will keep you coming back for more. It is RNG heavy, and the pay-to-win accessibility of it can make it frustrating for ranked and casual play. Those things aside, if you truly see to this game as a casual fun time to be had and don't mind staying at the same rank, neither get frustrated with losing 70% of your matches and simply want to have fun online with other people, it is a great game. In time, that 70% loss rate will decrease since you will naturally spend more time in the game and unlock more cards, at which point the game becomes even more fun when not taken so seriously. Can I recommend it? That is a hard question. The reason being that I myself am having so much fun on this game, I simply want to recommend it and get as many people playing as possible. On the other hand, it is hard for me to do so with the pay-to-win mechanics it has, and I can't recommend this title to a competitive player, since I am basically telling them to make sure they have 100 years on the side to get into the game at a good pace and then work up from there. Something I can never do for a free-to-play title. I'm sorry, it's just against my ideals. It's a judgment call, I guess. All I can say is that I myself am having a lot of fun in it, though I play it casually and barely care about ranks. I slowly grind my way to better cards, and for the most part I'm having such a blast playing this game, I don't foresee stopping it anytime soon. The only thing that annoys me and bums me out is some of the ridiculous RNG from time to time, but this is something we all have to deal with in such a game. This is the core to it to begin with. I say check it out. It really is a well-made title and a lot of fun. Just keep in mind all the above-mentioned aspects of the game and then see for yourself if these are things that you can live with in such a title or not. Lastly, probably not the best part to talk about this in our reviews, seeing as it is the end of the video already, but the artworks to the game are amazing and, to be honest, so pleasant. They are one of the main reasons I keep coming back. There have been many talented artists, many of which are not Blizzard employees at all, that have worked on these artworks, and a lot of attention has been placed into these. Truly wonderful, adding even more prestige, you might say, to a title that, for a simple yet addictive casual card game, has a lot of attention to detail. Well done to Blizzard for this. I personally say play it, check it out. I was introduced to this game from my fiance, to be honest, and I don't regret it. I keep playing it, but unfortunately I can't give it a larger score than the one that I gave it. I think it's pretty fair. Anyway, and that's all for this episode, guys, for Let's Play for Free Reviews. This is Hazard Reborn. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and also feel free to check out the rest of the videos right here on the Digital Creative Front. I'll see you next time.